what I think about religion and all of these Bible books that we believe to be true. And if you kind of look at it from a completely different perspective, there's a million and one different religions, and I'm only going to speak about the really, really old religions because I think those are the ones, the first ones, our cultures that were based on our religious beliefs and created the reality that we wanted. Those religions are the ones that I want to kind of talk about. And there's many of them. And they all have their God. You know, to me, it almost seems like God has a multiple personality disorder. There's many different forms of this God, while we all seem to believe there's only one. So if we all believe there's only one God, but there's so many different versions of that God, then why don't we kind of look at God as having a multiple personality disorder? And how do we merge all of the gods together to make one God? And where I found really blew me away is if you look at every one of these books, every one of their religions, and you take out all of the contradictions and find out what's true about all of them. If they were all like pieces of a puzzle that was just put together, you get rid of the trash, the contradictions, and what are you left with? And it's like, okay, you got this perfect piece of a puzzle. And one of them, because there's a lot of stuff going on in Israel and Jewish people, one of the things, and I haven't studied all of these religions, so I'm not going to be a religious expert at anything. I'm only sort of picking up the common things I hear very loudly about different religions. And one of them with um, Jewish people seemed to be that they believe that they're supposed to take over this land, that they are God's people, and um, there will be peace in the world as soon as they take over and control this piece of land. And that's like, okay, where does that make any sense at all? Are they in fact God's people? Yeah, I believe it. I think it's true. If they're controlling the land, okay, it's a matter of how they're controlling the land. If they're going to control it in a way that causes war and destruction and killing other people, I don't, God's sin is don't kill another person, don't kill yourself. So somehow you have to view our religions and where they don't contradict themselves, by seeing what kind of logically makes sense, so taking over a piece of land and killing everybody else around you is kind of sin. It's not really right. You have no enemy. There is no enemies. It's just the enemy in your own freaking mind. But if Jewish people were the chosen people, if they are supposed to live on this specific piece of land and then we'll find peace, let's reverse mechanics and see how that game plays out. Wouldn't it make a lot more sense that in order for you to be the chosen people, wouldn't it mean that you have to have the most highest sense of love for humanity than possible? So it's almost like as soon as Jews can kind of have the love and compassion and the will for life for all other people, all other religions, you know, then how do they take over this land? Would it not be more in a sharing, loving? Here, come live with me. Let me build you a house of your dreams. Wouldn't that end all wars if Jewish people were there on that land saying, come here and see my expression of love that I have for you. Let me do everything I can to serve you so you can feel the expression of my love. Wouldn't that bring peace to the world? Right now it's, this is my land, get the hell out, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to wipe you all out, every expression of hate, evil, sins against just about every religion, so waiting for the day that maybe a few Jewish people might say, yeah, okay, I'm here. Come live with me. Come, let me build you my house, your house. You know, how can I show my enemy as much love as possible so you are healthy, happy, and can experience love as well? I think when the Jewish people finally get it, then we'll see peace on the planet. But as soon as, you know, as long as Jewish people aren't kind of seeing the picture, they will be the evil that destroys the planet. So, kind of watching a little bit of what's going on in Israel, kind of seeing, you know, do you really want to have war? Because as soon as you throw a bomb, that just sort of teaches the other guy that my bomb's going to be bigger than your bomb, so they're going to bomb you. And then your bomb's got to be bigger than their bomb, so you can show them that you're bigger and better than them. And then you throw your bomb on them, which teaches them. And I mean, it's been how many hundreds of years? You know, did it work? Did you find peace? You know, like at some time you got to jump out of the pattern and get into a new game. I'm just watching a lot of insanity, and it's like, when are we going to sort of see this bigger picture? When are we going to put these puzzle pieces together? You know, and then I seen another, oh, somebody put a video on, I think, an interview on CNN about some Christian guy that's going to burn the Quran, you know, and it's like, how is that showing love? You know, like, again, it's these Christians that think that they are so much better than everybody else. And you know, they're all praying for the Armageddon because, you know, God's going to just weed them all out and save, you know, the non-sinners, while every Christian admits they're sinners. So it's like, it's you that you're praying for the Armageddon that's going to kill you because you're a sinner. To have such disrespect for somebody else's value and push your own values on other people and think with your freaking ego that you're better than everybody else, that your Bible is better than anybody else. Take a look at that Bible. It says beat your kids. Let's make some sense out of that. You know, it's said there's more Christians on this friggin' planet, and you're all convincing everybody that you are the best one. And yet that Bible says that if Christians don't follow God's way, then an Armageddon is going to be created. So this Armageddon is mostly created by Christians. Christians want the Armageddon because they think that's where they're going to get the cleansing, and they're not reading their own friggin' Bible and seeing that it's if you do not do what God says you're supposed to do. So that means every Christian isn't even reading their own friggin' Bible. They're not studying and living exactly the way they're supposed to be living, and then they think they're going to be saved. Meanwhile, they're killing themselves and they're killing the whole friggin' planet. So it's like, okay, if you want the Armageddon, I'll just sort of sit back and watch it make it happen. But let's just see what some Christians have done. You know, when you took over America, you know, it's these Christians that stole, you know, native kids and put them in Christian schools and gave them Christian names and tried to wipe out their culture. And what was their culture? To respect the friggin' planet, to not sin, to do everything that's right and in sync with the planet, while Christians are doing everything to destroy the planet and destroy anybody who thinks we should have respect for the planet. I think that you know, if these good Christians are actually good Christians, follow your freaking Bible. You know, make a shift. It's not the time for you to be doing more of the same thing, because that's going to speed things up. And that's exactly what's happening, is when we're seeing this Mayan calendar and time is speeding up, it's because Christians now are saying, we got to do more of what we've been doing. And we got to do it bigger and better and stronger. And we've got to convince everybody to do the way we want it to do, because we are better than everybody else. And they can't sort of reflect in the mirror and see how evil they are. And they want everybody to have all of their evil acts. And the more they work hard at it, and the more people, you know, sort of get on board with these, it's going to speed up our own destruction, creating the Armageddon that you don't want, which going to only kill you. So it's like, the only people that are going to die in this Armageddon are going to be the Christians, because they can't freaking understand their own Bible. and their egos are preventing them from doing that. Just my opinion. Peace out.